The film begins with Noah, a young woman who experiences profound loneliness, as she has no family, neither parents nor siblings. Her only source of support and care is a close friend. In her quest for a life partner, Noah creates a profile on a dating website and begins searching for a potential husband. After engaging in an online conversation with a man, she decides to meet him in person. They arrange to meet at a hotel restaurant for dinner to learn more about one another. However, Noah soon finds the man to be peculiar. He exhibits rudeness, poor manners, and a lack of concern for cleanliness. Following the meal, Noah candidly states, "I don't like you. You're not like me, and I can't marry you." Offended, the man retaliates with insults before leaving in anger. As Noah returns to her car, she feels as though someone is following her, but it turns out to be merely her imagination, as a passerby walks by. Later, she confides in her friend about the odd encounter, expressing her disinterest in the man. As days go by, Noah keeps herself occupied with daily tasks while continuing her search for the right partner. During a shopping trip, she notices that people are staring at her oddly, but she chooses to ignore them and proceeds with her errands. In the store, she meets a young man named Steve, whose calm demeanor and manner of speaking captivate her. They engage in conversation, become friends, and exchange contact information. When Noah shares news of Steve with her friend responds enthusiastically, "That's wonderful. I'll stop looking online and focus on finding someone good nearby." One evening, Steve sends Noah a text inviting her to meet him. As dusk falls, she arrives at a local bar owned by a mutual friend. They engage in conversation for hours, and Noah finds herself enjoying his company. Steve reveals, "I'm alone in this world. I'm a well-known surgeon, you can even Google me to see my impressive surgeries." As the night progresses, they share several glasses of wine and begin to appreciate each other's presence more deeply. Eventually, they decide to go back to Steve's place to continue their time together. The following morning, Noah awakens and captures a photograph of Steve, indicating that her feelings for him are growing. While in the shower, she contacts her friend, sharing the photo with the message, "I like him. We spent the night together, and he truly took care of me. We had a wonderful time." Her friend responds, "If you genuinely like him, please send me his social media handles, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, anything. I want to understand what kind of person he is." However, Noah replies, "Steve does not have any social media accounts or an online presence." Her friend expresses disbelief, questioning how that could be possible in today's digital age. Despite this, Noah and Steve continue to spend time together. One day, Steve smiles and announces, "I have organized a special trip for you. If you accompany me, I will show you something extraordinary, but I cannot disclose the details just yet." Noah agrees and informs her friend about the trip. Her friend cautions her, "Please prioritize your safety. Keep in touch and let me know where you are." As they set off on their journey, Noah's phone loses signal as they leave the city, preventing her from updating her friend on their whereabouts. As night falls, they arrive at Steve's residence. Inside, Noah notices some unusual pictures on the walls but chooses to overlook them as she follows Steve. They begin to drink together, but suddenly Noah loses consciousness and collapses. When she regains her senses, she finds herself restrained. In a state of panic, she cries out, "What do you want from me? Why are you tying me up? Please let me go." Steve's expression reveals no compassion. He calmly states, "I brought you here for a specific purpose. I'm going to cut your body into pieces and sell them. Until I sell every part, you'll stay locked up here. There are people who like to eat human flesh, and I supply that meat." Noah is horrified. Meanwhile, since she hasn't messaged her friend grows worried and texts her repeatedly. But Steve responds to her friend using Noah's phone. Noah screams, then she hears another girl's voice in a nearby room, also captive. The girl says, "Steve not only sells the meat, but eats it himself. He only kidnaps girls who have no family or ties nearby, so no one comes looking for them." A girl in the adjacent room appears to be in a state of distress, murmuring to herself. In an attempt to gather more information, she searches for Steve online but finds no records of a surgeon by that name, leading her to suspect that someone else may be using Noah's phone. Upon examining the photograph that Steve sent, she discovers it is a generic image taken from a website, further confirming her fears that Noah is in grave danger. Meanwhile, Steve is engaged in horrific activities, dismembering bodies and storing the remains in sealed boxes along with photographs and other mementos for his buyer's disturbing satisfaction. As these boxes are prepared for shipment, Noah pretends to take a bath while actually seeking an opportunity to escape. However, when she attempts to flee, Steve apprehends her and violently renders her unconscious. Upon regaining consciousness, she realizes something is amiss. Steve has administered an anesthetic and performed surgery on her. As a consequence of her escape attempt, he has amputated her lower body. In the meantime, Noah's friend visits the bar where Noah initially met Steve to gather information from the owner. The investigation reveals that Steve is not his real name. Although there are no social media profiles linked to him, they manage to uncover details about his wife and address. Noah is enduring excruciating pain when Steve brings another girl into the room for his gruesome acts. Nearby, Noah spots a magazine with a note that reads, "If you're reading this, Steve likes you, and you can escape whenever you have the chance." This note was left by a previous captive. Later, Noah calls out to the girl in the next room, stating, "Steve deserves a painful death, as do all who consume human flesh." Meanwhile, Noah's friend arrives at Steve's wife's home and messages the bar owner, saying, "If I do not return, please come here to find me." She then confronts Steve's wife, explaining that her husband has kidnapped Noah and that both are currently missing. The wife reacts with shock, insisting, "My husband could not possibly commit such a heinous act, you must be mistaken." In a chilling moment, Noah asks Steve, "What does human flesh taste like, and how does it feel after consumption?" Steve thinks the question is weird, but he proudly says, "Human flesh tastes way better than anything else." At the same time, Noah's friend is still talking with Steve's wife when suddenly, Steve shows up and acts like he doesn't even know Noah in front of her. Noah's friend secretly calls Noah's phone, and when the phone rings right next to Steve, it becomes obvious this really is Steve. Then, Steve's wife sneaks up from behind and knocks Noah's friend out cold. Steve walks over to Noah and asks why she was curious about the taste of human flesh. Calmly, she replies, "I just wanted to see if it's really that good that people crave it." Steve ignores her and leaves, leaving her clothes behind. We then find out Steve had cut off and sold one of his wife's legs. Like Noah, he had brought her from somewhere and then married her. Now that she fully supported him, he had no plans to kill her. Once again, Steve puts a girl's flesh into a fridge already packed with pieces from other girls. He had even eaten some himself. In the backyard, we see him cutting a girl up with some kind of tool. A devil's symbol is visible nearby, a detail to remember. That night, Steve and Noah eat together. Since Noah's lower body was severed, sitting was agonizing for her. She asks, "How long have you been doing all this?" While eating, Steve says, "I first tasted a girl's flesh when I was 19, and I found it incredibly pleasurable. Of course, I couldn't tell anyone. Later, I met others who shared the same taste, and I realized people like me actually exist. They weren't ordinary folks. They were extremely wealthy and didn't hesitate to pay whatever I asked for the flesh." Afterwards, Steve serves Noah a dish made of human flesh, which she manages to swallow. She tells him, "It tastes exactly like you said. Amazing." But she's only saying that to gain his trust. Meanwhile, we catch a glimpse of those rich, twisted people who enjoy eating young girls' flesh. Their plates also show the same devil's symbol. Steve leaves Noah locked in a room and takes her friend to butcher her flesh while Noah has no idea what's happening. When Noah returns, she feels anxious and sick from having just eaten human flesh. Steve conducts surgery on Noah's friend, resulting in the separation of her flesh. He then presents Noah with new clothing, stating, "Tonight we will dine together." As Noah prepares herself, she searches for an opportunity to escape. With a forced smile, she engages with Steve, who compels her to consume the flesh of the girl who previously sang incessantly. Later, Steve reveals a wooden wall lined with boxes containing the personal belongings of deceased girls. Customers who order flesh along with these items receive information about the girls they are consuming. Inquiring about her own belongings, Noah asks, "Where are my things?" Steve responds calmly, "I haven't kept your items yet because I did not plan on ending your life." Upon noticing her friend's phone, Noah realizes that her friend is imprisoned in the same location. Overwhelmed by heartbreak, she fights back tears and remains focused. The two share a meal together. Afterward, in an attempt to lighten the atmosphere, Noah initiates a romantic moment but unexpectedly strikes Steve's leg with significant force. The impact is so severe that a chunk of flesh is torn away, splattering blood on his face. Seizing the moment of chaos, Noah discreetly retrieves keys and frees her friend along with another captive girl, who is missing one leg. They attempt to use the elevator to get her upstairs, but Steve is there to block their path. Noah and her friend confront Steve together, engaging him in a physical struggle until he sustains injuries. However, Steve quickly recovers and retaliates violently, inflicting severe harm on Noah. The one-legged girl risks her safety to protect Noah, and together, the three of them deliver a painful retribution to Steve. They dismember him and consume his remains without mercy. Meanwhile, the bar owner, who has been searching for Noah's friend, arrives outside. The girls flee the house, but Steve pursues them with a gun. He attempts to locate them, but they manage to hide successfully. At that moment, Steve's wife enters the house and, upon seeing the bloodshed, realizes that the girls have escaped. As Steve continues his search for Noah, her friend ambushes him from behind, allowing the girls to attack him once more. Ultimately, Noah seizes Steve's gun and shoots him, bringing his reign of terror to an end and ensuring their safety. However, Noah's phone is missing, prompting her to search for it. Meanwhile, Steve's wife discovers his body and instructs her staff to store it in the refrigerator. She then encounters Noah and pretends to be fleeing from Steve as well, but suddenly attempts to strangle Noah in a bid for revenge for her husband's death. In a moment of bravery, Noah stabs a nail into the woman's neck in an effort to escape but is captured once again. Just as Steve's wife is about to finish her off, Noah's friend arrives and intervenes, demonstrating true loyalty. She attacks Steve's wife with such ferocity that she ultimately succumbs to her injuries. The film ends.